Go fruit yourself.
The lifeblood of a democracy is your ability to understand and act upon a problem once the facts are presented to you. The purpose of this motion picture is to give you the facts, and then you, as individuals and citizens of a democracy, must take action.
This is a channel where I share my opinion about health, fitness, and weight loss. If you can't handle that, please get the fuck off this channel and find one that only has dancing unicorns and rainbows. Hey Fruitbats, it's Frilly Banana Girl here. Welcome to another episode. So today's video was sparked by a picture that Tess Munster posted on her Facebook. And if you're not sure who Tess Munster is, she is a plus-size model who has a huge following on social media. So the photo that Tess posted is pretty raunchy and she's wearing a thong, a G-string, so I can't show that she's in like a sexual position. So that does not fly on YouTube. If you want to have a look, you can look on Facebook. So Tess posts a lot of controversial photos, and they're considered controversial because of the message they are sending out, which is seen as glorifying and promoting obesity. So Tess receives a lot of support, and there's always like a war going on in the comments section, and one comment in particular stood out to me. The comment is from Miranda Klopman. Being obese can kill you, Tess. I am 27 and I have been diagnosed with apnea. I have to sleep with an oxygen mask now because of my weight, and to be honest, I am not nearly as big as you. I am now in the process of getting a gastric bypass so that I will not find myself unable to walk anytime soon. I look at your pictures, and at first, a couple of months ago, I felt nothing but pride that someone finally stood up for who she is. But deep in my heart, I know that being obese is not sexy, but dangerous. You are a walking time bomb. Your heart can give up on you at any time. I also have a very sick thyroid and severe back pains. Part of me is proud of you standing up for obese women, but I would be even more proud if you would stop trying to make something beautiful out of it and just admit that being obese kills so many people every year, and they often pass away too young, even our age. Being obese makes my body very sick. I hope you understand the sadness that I feel looking at you struggling for big women, because you have good intentions, but it cuts both ways. So this is obviously a message from a caring individual. Miranda is in that position herself. She knows how sick and how horrible it is to be obese, and she's only trying to help Tess. And what comes after that is really disturbing. Like the amount of people that try and shame her into silence and, call her a troll and basically abuse her is scary. Rebecca says, haha, gosh, even being concerned about someone's well-being now means you're a troll supposedly. No one is entitled to an opinion anymore. And that's what we seem to be dealing with here, folks. If you voice your concern about someone's weight and how it's related to their health, you become a fat shamer. You've got to shut up. You're a troll. You're a hater. Even if you just genuinely care, you automatically become a hater. And I understand why, because more of the population is becoming overweight and the fat acceptance movement is getting bigger and bigger. And I can see a massive problem with this, a problem for the health of the population, for the animals, and for the planet. So I'm genuinely happy that Tess is all about self-love. As many of you know, I'm also all about that. But health must come with that, or else we aren't truly loving ourselves. Loving ourselves is nourishing ourselves with the best food and keeping our body at a healthy weight. And no, you cannot be healthy and morbidly obese. Do you have to look like me? No, you don't have to look like me, and I've never said you have to look like me. Just be the best, healthiest version of yourself. So you got to remember, this isn't a judgment of her character, of her personality. I'm sure she's a very cool person. But when you put yourself out there as a public figure like I have myself, then naturally you will be critiqued. And people hate on me all the time, but the difference is I educate, I don't hate. So clearly Tess is not promoting health, and you might be like, well, she doesn't have to promote health. The thing is, when you put yourself out there as a public figure and you become a role model for millions of women, then you automatically have responsibility. This planet is in the grips of a serious obesity epidemic. And the reality is, if you're not considering that when you put yourself out there and what you put out there, then you are being irresponsible. And then you become part of the problem, not the solution. So why do people react with shock when they see an obese or anorexic individual? Does it automatically mean they're a hater, they're an awful person, they're mean? No. It's really an instinctive, natural reaction to seeing an individual at a weight that is so abnormal for the human body. It's like a very basic survival instinct, and the brain saying, well, that's not normal, that's not healthy, that might threaten our survival. And if you're like Tess and you have weight issues, remember, you're not fat, you have fat. It's a temporary state, and it's under your control to eat and live healthily as possible. And let's not try and make this a feminist issue or a cosmetic issue, because this really is just a health issue. So we have no problem highlighting the dangers of anorexia in our society in modeling and how unhealthy it is, and I totally agree with this. Being an anorexic model is setting a bad example. But why doesn't it cut both ways? Why aren't we then looking at the polar opposite, which is obesity, and saying, hey, this is also not okay. This is a health issue. Please tell me why this is any different, because I don't understand. So statistically speaking, if you look at the obesity model versus the anorexic model, the obesity model is actually far more threatening to our survival as a species than the anorexic model, because about 200 people die every single year from anorexia in the States versus over 800 people every single day from obesity-related illness. 200 people per year versus 800 people every single day. So it's obvious what the biggest problem is here and where the majority of our focus should be. So one of the biggest arguments is you can be healthy at any old weight. Well, the statistics show that that is just not true. The higher you are over your optimal weight, the weight that nature intended for you, not the weight that the ego wants you to be at, the more you risk major illness like cancer, disease, gout, heart disease. Statistics show that you are increasing your risk of all these major diseases. So I'm going to share with you some more statistics. According to current estimates, 2/3 of Americans are overweight, 1/3 of the entire population is obese. That's a huge difference from when my mum was young, when she was growing up. If this problem continues unresolved, by 2030, 86% of Americans will be overweight and 51% of the population will be clinically obese. That's over half of the population clinically obese, folks. We got to start getting really serious about this. In the United States, obesity is estimated to cause 111,000 to 365,000 deaths per year. So 1 million deaths in the European Union are attributed to excess weight annually. That is like we're at war with ourselves, and we are definitely losing. And some of you might be thinking, more people die from cigarette smoking or drug abuse or alcohol abuse. Actually, no. About 3 times more people die from health problems stemming from excess body weight. Excessive body weight is associated with various diseases, particularly cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, obstructive sleep apnea, like that lady mentioned, certain types of cancers, osteoarthritis. Really, the list goes on and on. So in 2003, the direct costs of obesity-related healthcare were approximately $93 billion per year. And then in 2009, went up to $147 billion per year. So that's nearly 10% of all medical spending in the United States. And it's much the same in Australia. And some of you might be like, oh, mind your own business. It's none of your business how people look after themselves, whether they're obese and what they eat. And actually it is. It's everybody's business. And one of the reasons it's everyone's business is because Medicare only covers some of these costs. So taxpayers fund half of this spending directly. So I'm sure you'll agree, it's really not fair for someone else to foot your medical bill if you are not looking after yourself as well as you should be. So it's actually a massive strain on the economy. Nearly 1/3 of all US medical spending is related to health problems affected by obesity. That's a massive number, folks. That's a huge amount of spending on something that is preventable. The reality is, Tess could be using her platform to inspire others to get fit and healthy and to follow her weight loss journey. And I am more than willing to coach you on this, Tess. Definitely on a high-carb raw vegan lifestyle. I am here for you to help you in any way that I can. So please take me up on it. And I really love this photo shoot with Tess because it's so colorful and fruity and vibrant. And Tess, these are the foods that are going to help you transform into your best, fittest, healthiest self, which in turn will help inspire others to do the same and ultimately help save this planet. My friend Jared, for example, he lost 240 pounds on his high-carb vegan lifestyle, and he is absolutely loving life, overcome a whole host of disease and depression as well. So he is proof that you can do it, and there's a number of other people who have had similar success. So it's really all about stepping up to the plate, taking your health into your own hands and making it happen. Yes, yes, yes. As women, as men, please feel good about yourself. That's what I'm saying. Please feel good about yourself. Please love yourself. And that means getting real about where you're at and about where you need to be in order to become fit and healthy. So the question naturally comes up, is it responsible in the face of this serious obesity epidemic to normalize and even celebrate excessive weight? And if you think I'm a fat shamer, then you can go fruit yourself, because you must be a truth shamer.